amazes me when I look at the intellect, and not to insult anyone, across the board in America, where the majority of, I think, Republican Party members are what we used to call middle-class, blue-collar laborers.
Right.
And they are so in tune to a Donald Trump, who is a born millionaire and lives his life as a billionaire,
right.
And how people can think that he has something in common with them.
And here's the deal, though, right? The deal is that we are not, and when I say we, first of all, we know the media, it's not going to do the job. They are not going to do the job. We have to do it. And I don't know about you, but I have a lot of Republican friends. You have a lot of Republican and Democratic friends. The thing about it is, we have to use the geometric progression of individual access to people and keep them talking to one another.
Exactly.
And when and that's the policy that we have to do now. One of the issues right now and I was speaking to John about that before, when I told John the problem is I want to start talking policy, because I mean, what happens is Trump brings up something on Twitter today, and the entire mainstream media is going to talk about that one silly issue, and we don't talk about, okay, how can we make healthcare work in as much as Obamacare started the job? How can we really make it work better? There's something that very few people realize, and it's within our system, and it goes with anybody, whether you're black, white, or whatever. But right now, he's playing a particular card, and this is something that I've written about before, and this is very important. In this country, minorities, by definition, have always had it harder in the aggregate. Yes, we have the oppressed and we have the Sam, all the other folks, but have always had it hard. Okay, so there's a particular segment in this society who knew what it was to have it hard, who knew what certain problems were.
Right.
As the plutocracy has taken just about everything from those people, and I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm trying to get a picture across. The plutocracy has taken a whole lot of just about everything from these folks. Now where we're at, and then again, the plutocracy has simply forgotten about Appalachia, left the poor white people without a voice, without anything to talk about, and they forget about them in the mountains in the whole of Appalachia. In the coal mine in the dark. And you keep them, so they don't really know much of what's going on. And then what they do is they concentrate on, I mean, what the rest of general America, the rest of general white America was doing fine. Well, the plutocracy has to keep growing. It has to keep eating. It has to keep expanding. Well, they've taken away everything from everybody else.
That's right.
Who's next?
That's right.
Who is next? The next is our white brothers and sisters now. They are now going to be in the game. They are now going to be extracted from. But then the plutocracy can't just do that. They must say, you know why you are having that trouble? You see those Latinos over there? And by the way, the Muslims are doing this to you. And by the way, you see them black folk? They just want that welfare. And the reason you don't have, it's not that the plutocracy is extracting everything, as the numbers prove. And anybody who's listening to me, if you want specific numbers, my dear friends, my dear listeners, I can provide them for you. It's right there at the BLS. Okay? So here's how we mitigate it, Dwayne. Here's how we mitigate it. First of all, we have to go to our Latino brothers and sisters, or white brothers and sisters. What I use a term that all the time. I say we have to unite Appalachia, the Ghettos, and the Barrios. I mean, it's stereotypical. That's a stereotypical statement, but it gets the point across, and I'll use it in every program. Let's unite the Appalachia, the Barrios, and the Ghettos. And once we do that, we see how much we have in common. And once we see how much we have in common, we can move on. Look, it has been a pleasure speaking to you, my friend. I need to go to the other call. You have a wonderful day. Let's go to line number 3.